Now it's 7:35 in the morning Beijing time. Okay, now let's get started. Hello, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Lisa from Foodmate. Very happy to meet you here. Thanks for joining us today. I will continue to share with you about the GACC registration, mainly about the aquatic products enterprise registration. Although there are good export opportunities currently, you may still encounter many difficulties in registration. So I think I can share some experience with you in this area. Okay, according to our plan, today I will mainly focus on the specific requirements of registration of aquatic products manufacturer enterprise. Here, the aquatic product manufacturer enterprises refers to overseas aquatic product processing enterprises, storage warehouses, frozen fishing vessels, fishing transport vessels, and fishing processing vessels that apply for registration in China. And I will talk about the application for registration. That means the first time registration and modification registration, as well as the registration of renewal and cancellation of some specific requirements. And of course, all these contents will be introduced based on our registration experience in the past 2 years. During this period, I will also share our opinions on some of the questions collected before the webinar. So now let's jump directly to part 1. Assume it's your first time registration in a cipher system. I will introduce issues related to account application, information filling and file uploading, and matters needing attention and some case sharing. As described in the previous webinar held last month, to export aquatic products to China, you'll need to know which aquatic products are allowed to be exported to China. This is about the market access. Follow the link I give here to access it. And you can confirm it by the Latin name of the product. Products that are not on the approved list are not currently allowed to be exported from your country to China. Here, the open the list. Here we go. It is, but all the informations are in Chinese. You can just here to select your country. For example, if you are from Chile, here, last third one, and search, and it will show you all the other products, aquatic products that you can export from Chile to China. 7 or 8 pages. Anyways, you can search it with the Latin name of the products. Okay, let's back to our presentation. Okay. If it's determined that your product is covered by the approved list, then you can further consider registration matters. Currently, except for portion of plant-based foods and food categories that for which the registration method has been determined prior to the implementation of GCC Decree number 248, overseas manufacturers of imported foods need to register in a cipher system. Here, the cipher means China Import Food Enterprise Registration cipher system. This is a cipher system. Here show the registration process in a guidance document given in a cipher system. For aquatic product and companies, firstly, you will have to obtain a registration account from your competent authorities. Then it is necessary to follow the system prompts to fill in information and finish data uploading. This part is what overseas manufacturer and enterprise need to focus on, and is also more difficult to complete accurately. Afterwards, the submission is made in the cipher system, and information flow goes to your competent authorities. After audited by your competent authority, the application will be recommended to the GACC for the final check and inspection. Next, I will describe the priorities for the first-time registration. First, get an account to log in the cipher system, and then log in the cipher system with your account information. And then an important work is to determine your the HIS and the CIQ code of your product. If you're exporting China for the first time, you can seek help from your Chinese importer to determine such codes. Or you can do your own research in a product type query section of the cipher system. Currently, there are 1,876 HS and CIQ codes for aquatic products in cipher system. These codes correspond to some endangered, frozen, chilled, dried, and other preserved aquatic products. So if you know your product very well, such as the native name, production or processing method, intended use, etc., you can try to determine the code, HS and the CIQ code by yourself. Of course, if there are some that are not easy to judge, you can seek help from our Foodmate. After determining the HS code, HS and the CIQ codes of your products, you can follow the requirements in the cipher system to fill in the registration information and upload necessary documents. For example, you need to upload a production permit or production certificate. Maybe in some European countries, that means some sanitary registration certificate, and as well as the factory layout and workshop layout, etc. You may even need to mark the flow, people and logistic flows on these layouts. Once you have done this, you can preview the entire application information and submit it if there are no problems. After that, the registration application will be passed to your competent authority for review in cipher system, and they may ask and your competent authority may also ask you to submit some supporting documents. However, according to requirements of GACC Decree number 248, your competent authority needs to inspect your enterprise and submit an audit report. The GACC provides a checklist for inspection by your competent authority or your self-inspection by enterprise yourselves. Please note, no here in a checklist whether your company is conform to the conditions that list in a checklist. In a checklist, you may have to choose one from 3 or 2 or 3 select options. One is conform or does not conform or not applicable. If you need to know that no or does not conform option cannot be selected. When selected, it means that enterprise does not meet the requirements of China in terms of food safety and sanitary control in certain aspects. And GACC will directly reject your application. Once your competent authority audit is completed, it will be recommended to the GACC. And GACC will further determine whether to conduct an on-site inspection or video inspection. If all audits are okay, GACC will give the approval conclusion in a separate system, and your company will get the registration status. According to our experience, the current aquatic products business registration may take 2 to 6 months, and 2 months is the fastest cycle we experienced. Here I list some cases that are often rejected by GACC. For example, fill in the sample system and not approved aquatic products, and you have choose wrong HS and SEC code, and you do the wrong product classification. Here, for example, shrimp belongs to crustaceans, but someone actually choose fish or other classification. And other cases including lack of texture description of production processes. Many enterprises also just upload production flow chart in a subsystem, but without filling here the texture description of the production process. It is not acceptable. And GACC will reject you because of this. And also missing some certain documents or information. And the checklist report with options that do not meet Chinese requirements. That's to say you select do not conform with Chinese requirements, or do not, or no, or no. You can just select conform with Chinese conditions or Chinese requirements, or not applicable, These 2 options are acceptable. So generally speaking, if you can notice and understand these very detailed requirements at the very beginning, you can avoid multiple rejections or corrections. So the above are the key requirements and common rejection cases for the first time registration. At this stage, you may have to do the modification registration. And many problems will be encountered. Some requirements for modification registration are actually consistent with the requirements for the first time registration. So I will not repeat them in part 2, and will just introduce that what should be focused on for modification registration at this stage. For general modification registration, it mainly involves changing the name of the company, adding or deleting products to be registered, reconstructing or expanding your building, and changing the contact person, etc. And after filling in the change the information in the corresponding section of server system, you need to attach a change comparison table and or the company's own description for the change. However, in case of changing production sites, your company, your factory will move from one place to another place. You change your legal representative, or you change your registration number in the country while your factory is located. For these three cases, the overseas manufacturer will reapply for registration, and original Chinese registration number will automatically become invalid. Regarding the modification, a friend had a question about the company name change. Here I share my advice. For example, your company name is named ABC Company now, and you will to change it to BCD Company. Let's just say you will change your company name because of maybe you have to further develop your company and something else. And if such cases, you can directly fill in a new name here, enterprise name through modification, registration. Here, you can just directly change, fill in a new name of your company. And then fill the name before and after the change. The reason, this is a comparison, change comparison table. GCC issued it in its website, but just the Chinese version here, just to give you a translation version for your reference. And you have to fill in the name, your company name before and after the change, the reason for the change, and when the change become effective in such table, and provide an official document to approve it. A change of company name may also need to be filed with several authorities in your company, in your country, such as the agency that registered your company or the agency related to the sanitary registration of the factory. You will only need to provide a document issued by the factory sanitary registration agency, agreeing to your name change action. For most companies that have been approved for registration or have completed renewal of registration, you may need to complete a modification registration. Perhaps your authorities have informed you that the GCC required that the missing registration information and supplementary documents be completed in server system before June 30 this year. This requirement can be accomplished through a modification registration. You may have thought that although you actually only export a dozen or dozens of aquatic products to China, the hundreds or even thousands of products may have been approved by system default for your company in server system. What happened? What to do? I'm guessing someone has chosen to work day and night to remove most products that you don't want to register and keep only the few that you want to export to China. It's a huge work to do. But I want to tell you that there is another way. You can only delete the products that with invalid HS and the CF codes products and keep the rest. No need to eliminate all the non-related products one by one. And currently you cannot delete them as a whole. Okay, here I summarize the operation points of such kind of modification registration. So first, you just choose the application for registration section and fill in all required information, upload all necessary documents or certificates in the subsystem. And at the same time, you can make sure which you want to change, which information or documents you want to change, and complete the change comparison table and upload it. And with some supporting documents. And then if nothing else to be filled in or completed, you can just submit your application. And then the system will prompt you that maybe 2 or 3 products with invalid HS code should be deleted. And then you back to your application, the product list that approved by the system default, and just find the 2 or 3 or even more invalid HS code products. Just delete them one by one, and then submit your application again, and then you finish it. The third part is about renewal, extension or renewal and cancellation of registration. Although it is relatively simple, there are still cases where enterprises are rejected many times. So let's figure it out. To the requirements of GCC Decree number 248, applications for renewal of registration can only be submitted to GCC with 3 to 6 months before the expiry of the validity period of enterprise registration. However, in reality, many enterprises may not have submitted the renewal applications within this time limit. Some may have applied only a month before the expiration date, or they may have passed the registration validity period and have not yet submitted their renewal applications. For those that have submitted renewal applications, the GCC should have reviewed them, and as far as we know, many have been approved. However, for the next renewal application, it is said that if the renewal application is not submitted 3 to 6 months before the expiry date, the system will may be closed for renewal of registration, and you will not be able to perform anything in a separate system. After the registration expiration date, your business may lose its registration status directly. If you want to continue exporting food to China, you'll need to re-register from the very beginning to do the maybe like the first registration, the first application for registration. The second one I would like to show about renewal of registrations about the enterprise declaration. Both the first-time registration and the renewal of registration have their own corresponding enterprise declaration templates. You can download a blank template in the renewal of registration interface in subsystem, and then have it filled out, signed, sealed, scanned, and uploaded in subsystem. Here I show the enterprise declaration template for renewal of registration of aquatic products. Here, you may need to fill in your enterprise name and then followed by the registration number in China. The main difference is to attach the current registration number in China after the name of your enterprise. Many companies often ignore this requirement, uploaded enterprise declaration without attaching without following by the registration number in China. And are repeatedly rejected by your by their competent authorities. Here's some comments from their a competent authority. Please add China registration number next to company name in declaration. Please add registration number in China next to company name in declaration form to maybe 2 or 3 times rejections for such non-conformity. If you're sure that you will no longer export to China, then you can do a cancellation registration. But I would like to advise you that to think it carefully. Think about it carefully. After all, it's not easy to apply for registration, but easy to cancel it. About cancellation registration, there is actually no particular important experience to share. You can follow just the system requirements and complete the recording for filling. Here show the steps to operate. Just follow the instructions. That is all what I plan to share with you for this topic today. And then let's come to the Q&A section or questions raised during your registration period for this webinar. Some of them I have already mentioned in the previous introduction, and for some other technical questions, I will answer in this section. Okay, let's get started. For number 1, video. Someone cares about the video inspection rates for plans of new application. There's no clear answer or standard answer, I think. The overall food safety system control level of each country is not the same. I think it will affect the inspection plan of GCC. For example, if a country's quality products export to China, if I always find some food safety problems, GCC is likely to intensify inspections for the recommended registration of new aquatic products in the process. If the overall safety status of food export to China is good, a number of companies inspected by GCC will be relatively less. So that's my point of view. And for number 2, how to know the update register? If you mean how to know the latest approved information after submitting the registration, then you need to log in the service system to check whether there is any comments from your competent authority or from GCC. And if your application has been approved, you can check the final approval status through these 2 URL listed here. And you can just check it through your account in service system. And also you can inquire it through this link. Sorry. Later, I will show you how to check it. Okay, now for number 3, to open a new species important to China. Such topic, I just share my point of view. Opening up the import-export of new species depends on agreements between your country and GCC in this regard, as it involves some inspection and quarantine and even biosafety issues requiring careful and rigorous safety assessment. So if you do have new species export plan, you may wish to express this strong desire to your competent authorities, which may facilitate negotiations between your authorities and the GCC. Such thing will be just happen when your authorities and GCC have make a common decision, a decision. As for number 4, any updates regarding the GACC renewal for suspended establishments? I know that due to COVID-19, many quality products in the process were suspended from importing in China. So they missed the renewal of registration. This is not a normal delay situation. I suspect there are maybe 2 ways. The first one is that you need to re-register. The worst one. And number 2, GACC may set another deadline requiring such enterprise to complete the renewal of registration within such deadline. How to proceed with the operation ultimately depends on how GACC arranges it. I suggest that you contact your competent authorities and have them negotiate with GACC to effectively handle this matter. And for the last one, only after you, if it is required to add another product after the updated information delivery period, how is it added? And how long does the new approval take? And is it possible to update the information? For this question, I can share with you is only after your previous application has been approved can you add new products by modification registration. For aquatic products, this approval cycle may not be certain and not a certain time, certain period. But our experience in registering aquatic products, product enterprises in Chile is within 2 months. While in other countries, it takes approximately 2 to 6 months. This depends on the operation of the overall system, country system for quality products in your country, in such country, as well as the evaluation conclusions of GACC for it. So, okay, that's all what I want to feedback you upon a quality product in process registration. If you have other related questions, you can leave it in the chat area, or you can continue to choose any way listed here to contact us. Okay, some other questions? Is the processing for fish meal and oil registration. Fish meal is belong to feed, not food, right? Fish meal and oil, the meaning of registration. Registration for enterprise, yes, feed, for feed, fish meal and the oil registration. As I know, GACC also requires the feed manufacturer enterprise to register in GACC, and and it's also recommendation registration model. That means you have to apply your exporting registration plan to your authorities, and then your authorities inspect your country, and then recommendation to GACC, recommended your country, your committee to GACC. It's maybe it's the same progress, but in reality, some detailed action may be different. Can you share record video matter? Oh, I think my colleagues will feedback you. We can upload the video in our global website. Okay, if no other questions, thanks for joining us, and thanks again. See you next time. Bye.